I have started the recording, and so today we wanted to discuss whether we are doing the whether we are doing the Uttama Bhakti or not. Okay, so that's what we wanted to discuss today. Um, so if you look into the classic definition, what we talked about. Uh, okay, let me share my screen. Hare Krishna, Bri Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I just okay. So we wanted to discuss. Let's hold. Let me close the door.
Hare Krishna, Bri.
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we wanted to discuss whether we are doing Uttama Bhakti or not. And this is a very important question um, to know, because that's how we can um, course correct ourselves, right? We all want to make the best use of our life. And this particular section, which we are going to cover, will allow us to make sure that we are on the right path or not. Okay, so we'll be doing some sastric discussion, means we will be logically we'll be looking into the part of the definition. So first, let's get started with the definition of Uttama Bhakti. Okay, what is Uttama Bhakti? So we all have looked into, right? It is to please the anyābhilāṣitā. So first, look into the Sanskrit. Anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ. So what is abhilasa? What is the meaning of this word? Anyābhilāṣitā? What is the meaning?
To please Krishna.
So
No other,
anyābhilāṣit. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no other Abhilasha, no other.
Yeah. So see, devoid of desire other than the desire to please the Lord. So anya abhilashita means, which means that no other. Anya means no other. Abhilasha means desire. So there should not be any desire other than to please Krishna. And sunya means zero. So we should have zero desire, which is not for pleasing Krishna. Right? So my only desire is to please Krishna, all other desire is zero. So that's what he's saying. Sunya means zero. So that's point number one. anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ. And then he says jñāna-karmādy-anāvṛtam. So what is the meaning of that? jñāna-karmādy-anāvṛtam.
Devoid of jnana and karma, I guess.
Yeah.
It,
And go ahead. You have somebody else. Okay.
it should be a service which is in favor. Like it should not be. It's a thinking always of God, in favor of God, not something not like like kamsa. Rather, it is complete devotion, complete surrender towards the God.
Okay.
No,
So see, so the way anavritam is defined, anavritam means they should not be covering, right? So jnana and karma should not cover the bhakti. So it is not telling that jnana karma should not exist. We have to do our karma. We have to study also. But whatever we are studying, whatever we are doing, it should not cover the bhakti. Okay. Are we good? Second point. Third point. Third line. What is ānukūlyena kṛṣṇānu?
in favor of Krishna.
Yes, so which is the favorable to Krishna, right? ānukūlyena means favorable attitude towards Krishna, favorable, pleasing attitudes towards Krishna. Okay, so that is ānukūlyena. That's what it means. And anuṣīlanam is
Personal service given to you by Guru Parampara.
yes. So it is following under the Guru Parampara, continuous service, attitude of continuous service with emotions directed towards Krishna. Okay, and this bhakti is called Uttama Bhakti. So, this not only include the bhakti, it includes the definition of Uttama Bhakti, and we had talked about why it is Uttama, because even in the bhakti of definition, bhakti is always for Krishna. It is done for the favorite, but it should not be covered by the jnana karma. So these are the things, right? It should not be covered for the jnana karma. It should be favorable. These things makes it uttam, right? Uttam means topmost. So this is the definition. Now let's analyze this. So we will go and look into, and we can be honest to ourselves. So let's start. What do you think about the so we'll start with the primary one, which is the bhakti which we are doing. Is it, does it has the favorable attitude towards Krishna, ānukūlyena, kṛṣṇānu? So the bhakti which we are doing, do we all think that we are doing this bhakti which is favorable for Krishna? What do you have to say?
Not always.
Okay, so you are saying not always. Okay. Any
Because
other
we have
comment?
some self-desire. Prabhu.
Okay, so now you see you are going into the anyābhilāṣitā. So I am on
Yeah.
right now on ānukūlyena. So let's not mix
Okay.
it up. Ānukūlyena means, is your attitude is always favorable to Krishna? Would you agree with that? Yes or no?
And then what is considered favorable to Krishna means Krishna, all his expansions, everything.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Krishna means Krishna and all his expansion and all his devotees. Okay, so that's the Krishna definition of Krishna. So whatever service are we doing, is it favorable? Are we doing it with a favorable attitude towards Krishna?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I would say mostly most of us have that favorability. That's the reason we are all Krishna conscious, right? So I would say, but again, there is something which we all have to analyze, right? So I'm just raising the question here. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, jñāna-karmādy-anāvṛtam. Would you say that the jnana and the karma aspect, what we are doing is putting a covering on top of the bhakti or not? What you have to say about that?
I don't think that I have any intentions of gaining anything in those categories when acting
Okay.
in bhakti.
Okay. So so you so, and again it will vary. Everyone has to analyze ourselves, right? So typically jnana, we have to see, am I trying to like developing the egoistic attitude that, oh, I know a lot, other people are inferior to me, right? So that's one thing we have to check. The other thing is, am I doing like endeavors which takes away time from bhakti, right? And sometimes I gets caught up in that, or am I always caught up in that, right? Am I spending enough time for bhakti, or am I spending more time on the karma? So these are a question which needs to be answered. Okay, so that will mean the jnāna-karmādy-anāvṛtam. Now the first point, anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ. What about the desire? Do you think that you have no desire other than to please Krishna? What do you think about that?
I think I'm getting there, but I couldn't say that that's how my mind works all the time.
Okay, anybody else has the comment? What do you think, Mrunali Mataji or Jessica?
We still are work in progress, Prabhu.
Okay, so you think that sometimes you do have the desires, which is different than pleasing
Yes,
Krishna, right? Okay,
yes,
that's on that's on
always.
that's on that's honesty. That's honesty. Yeah.
So always I have a trust that he is our Lord. He is always there to take care. But somewhere I have some desire. Always. Then again I become reluctant. Yes, he is there. He is there to take care. So I surrender. Whatever it happens will happen. I need not worry. So it has brought a lot of change, but still somewhere sometime I get taken away. Then again I become again cautious. He is always there who is protecting me. So I need
Okay,
not worry. Yeah.
very good. Okay. Um, Shiva Prabhu, any thought from you? What do you think about that point?
Um, Prabhuji, it's like uh, eh, uh, every time like we get one kind of a desire, Prabhu. So I started thinking like, is it really helps me towards Krishna or not? Is something that I'm internalizing every time. So it's not that I don't get desires, but I would be evaluating every time. Does it help me? Does it help me, or is it
Okay,
keep me deviating from sadhana? So that is the
okay,
only factor that I'll check, Prabhu.
okay, okay. So see, most of us, and I will comment myself. It's not that I'm asking you, right? This is the question I have to keep asking myself. Yes. So as Bri Mataji was telling, or Mrunali Mata is telling, is we are in work in progress. And depending on where we are, most of us would say that I have some desire. It may be the very proper, like, oh, desire. If you are a mother, Bri Mataji is a mother, um, protecting her son, or if you're a wife, making sure that your husband is well taken care of, his needs are met, or your needs. Okay, I'm doing shopping, or I need a home, I need the shelter, I need the insurance, I need a 401k. So does it mean that, yeah, this doesn't seem like it's a sunyam, right? I have some desire for self-preservation. Now, what about that? Correct. So you see, this is the one where we as a devotee gets the most confused, right? What is proper or not? Because in the other section we talked about that the desire for self-preservation is okay, right? But are, do I have only the desire for self-preservation, or do I have something more? I want to go for vacation. I want my son to do really well in his life. Okay, so now I am getting into all those questionable area, correct? And that means it's not sunyam. And this is what we are going to analyze. Okay, so this is what we are going to analyze. So this was the context. Okay, and this is a pretty long section, but I'll try to um, go over it with the enough detail and not worry about covering every line of it. Okay, because as long as we get the point, we should be good. So the question is, are we practicing pure devotional service as defined by Rupa Goswami? And this is not the part of Nectar of Devotion. This is the extra section which we are going over. So definition of pure bhakti we just covered. Okay, um, We already did the analysis of that, and we talked about we have lot of desires. Right? We have lots of desires. So desire now, so this is where we will be bringing the concept of the mixed devotional service. Okay, mixed devotional service. By the name, what do you think? What is mixed devotional service? What does it mean?
There's desire mixed inside of your bhakti.
Yeah, so it's just not okay. So we'll be going through 3 definition of mixed devotional service. So we are trying to build we will get the answer based on the scripture. That's the beauty of this section. Okay, it's not that we'll just analyze and we are done. We will be bringing the text directly from the our scriptures. So this is in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, and Jessica Mataji, you have because you have been very systematically, you are joining Harivilas Maharaj class, so I think you have gone over it, right? So Kapila Muni, who was the incarnation of Krishna, he describes to his mother, while he's giving various types of bhakti, and this is one of the definition. Anybody would like to read this? Not the Sanskrit, the English.
The angry person, Samrambhi, devoid of compassion, Bhinnadrit, who worship me, Yamayi Bhavam Kurya, with intentions Abhisandhaya of violence, pride, and hatred, Himsam Dambam Matsaryam is Tasmik in his bhakti, Satamasaha. Verse summary, performer of bhakti in mode of ignorance, angry, devoid of compassion, worships the Lord with intentions of violence, pride, and hatred.
Okay, so see, so in this case, one is doing the bhakti, right? So I can be a bad man, bad person in terms of that I steal or I just ruffle people, right? But I have been introduced to Krishna consciousness, so I have started chanting also, but I'm doing it, right? So in that case, I will be told I am in this category. I am performing bhakti, but I am in the mode of ignorance, right? And sometimes I get very angry. I want, because cops are coming behind me, and I would like the cops to suffer. So I'm just angry. I just want them to suffer. If I have an enemy, I'll say that they should suffer. They should die, right? And with that intention, I'm doing the bhakti. So I will be considered in the mode of ignorance. I think that's pretty clear, right? Simple, not very hard.
Yes.
Okay, next verse. Somebody else would like to read English?
He who worships me in the forms of deities and others, with desires for other objects, with goals of material gain, fame, or wealth, has Rajasic Bhakti. Performer of Bhakti in the mode of passion worships the Lord with desire for other objects, with goals of material gain, fame, or wealth. Kapila describes various types of bhakti.
That's okay. Yeah. So in this is the second definition. So this is again the mixed bhakti, and this is the mixed bhakti in the mode of passion. And so what are the attribute? So in this case, the worshipper is worshipping the Lord with desire for other objects. I want a super good car. I want a house for me, right? So these are I should look good when I teach. People think that I'm a very good teacher, or I should have some wealth, so that I can have a wonderful life when I retire. So these are all the things which is the sign that I'm in the mode of passion. I'm doing bhakti, but I'm in the mood of passion. Okay. Third, anybody would like to read English?
Okay, Prabhu, I'll read. He who worships me, Yajat, with a desire to destroy karma nirharam uddisya, making his work and offering the Supreme Lord parasman tada tadarpanam va executing the worship as a duty, yatsavyam iti, having a desire for liberation, pratak bhava, has sattvic bhakti, sa sattvic.
Read the summary, verse summary.
Okay. Verse summary: performer of bhakti in mode of goodness worships the Lord with a desire to destroy karma, makes his work as an offering to the Lord, worships as a matter of duty to achieve liberation.
All right. So what do you think? So we have gone through 3 definition. Does any of us relate with any of the definition here? What do you think, Siva Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. I think type 3 mostly,
You think
which
this
used
is
to
the
be,
third one? Okay.
yeah, most of the times
Okay.
we like maybe initial phases. I don't know, some changes of
Mm-hmm.
current practice also. Sometimes it goes matter of duty. Sometimes we do. I mean, I do. So sometimes I feel like that, Prabhu. So, but
Okay. 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 So that's Shiva Prabhu. Anybody else would like to share? But just be honest. We are all
Still
a
we
small
are
group. Yeah.
I think,
still we have a desire of getting
Mm.
liberated.
Okay. Okay. So that's Murlali
Yeah.
Mataji. Okay. Any comment from Jessica Mataji or Bri Mataji?
yeah, I think for the mode of goodness, I always have questions on what does it mean to have, like, to do devotional service and then have in the back of your mind an expectation that you want to go to Goloka afterwards. I think that's mixed, isn't it? So I have questions around that. And then if
Mm-hmm.
it's true, if that's the case, then yeah, I definitely have struggles with
Okay.
mixed bhakti on
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Very good question, because yes, that's a if I have that I should go to Goloka and serve Krishna there. Is that a desire which is a personal desire? I'm not sure. That's what Brimata is telling, right?
Is that a
yes,
spiritual
I
desire?
echo that.
Okay. Yes. Somebody was talking, right? Jessica Mataji, was it you?
Well, I was asking if what Bree asked, is that a spiritual desire or is that material?
Hmm. Good. So Bri Mataji, what do you think? Is that a spiritual desire?
No, I don't. I personally don't think it is, because none of his pure devotees asked to go to Goloka. They say that life after life, I want to serve you, which insinuates to me that they are, you know, probably not participating in material birth and death, but they're going through some kind of birth or appearance and disappearance somewhere else. And
Mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
that's where I get confusion, I think.
Okay, okay. But you see, when you want to go to Goloka, why you want to go to Goloka? What is the intention behind it?
Well, so that's where I get my confusion from, because my intention is to serve Krishna
Hmm.
whatever he
Hmm.
wants. But then
Hmm.
I think that's why I consider it selfish on my part, because then I'm telling Krishna that I want to do this instead of him. So that's where I get the confusion.
Okay, but see, you want to go to Goloka to serve Krishna, right? And then you are getting confused. Hey, I'm telling Krishna, Krishna, I want to come to Goloka so I can serve you. Is that for me? Am I thinking for me, or is it for Krishna? Right? That's the confusion you are talking about, right? But you want to go and serve Krishna for
Yes.
sure,
Well, yeah,
right?
and I don't want to say that I'm doing it because it's for Krishna, even though I want to be honest with
Okay,
myself and
okay,
say, like, oh, I'm doing this for Krishna, but I also have a desire to do that too. And so I don't feel like I'd be genuine to say, like, oh yeah, it's for Krishna, when I have that desire as well.
okay. Very good. So this desire thing is very intertwined, right? So what Brimata is saying, we all should, like, if we think deeply, we all have some intertwined desire. Okay. So, but I right now I won't get into there. I'll make the progress, and it will help you as we are going to the next section. Next section, it will help you untangle it. Okay. Now we are going to the classic definition of Vadi Sadhana Bhakti. So, Bri Mataji, you had talked about the Vadi before, right? I had told you that we'll be getting into the classic definition of Vadi sadhana bhakti. So, for other people, the bhakti which we are performing is called Vadi sadhana. So, we are doing the bhakti where there are some regulations, like a four regulative principle we follow, do's and don'ts, we do the chanting. So, there are some recommendation, right? So, it's called Vadi sadhana bhakti. Okay. And so this definition is coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. You all might have seen this verse. If not, you will appreciate this verse very, very well. Okay. So Shiva Prabhu, read
Yes.
it, please.
जातश्रद्धो मत्कथासु निर्विन्ना सर्वकर्मसु वेददुःखात्मकं कामान् परित्यागेऽपि अनीश्वराः ततो भजेता मां प्रीताः श्रद्धालुर्धृतनिश्चयाः जुषमानश्च तान् कामान् दुःखदो दुःखोद्धारकांश्च गार्हयन्. Having awakened within narrations of my glories, Jata Shraddho Mat Kathasu, being disgusted with all material activities, Nirvinna Sarva Karmashu, knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery, Veda Dukhatmakam Kaman, but still being unable to renounce all sense enjoyment, Parityagepi Anishwara, my devotee should remain happy, Tato Pritaha, and worship me, Mam Bhajeta, with great faith and conviction, Shraddhalu Dhrita Nishchaya, even though he is sometimes engaged in sense enjoyment. Jushamanascha Tan Kaman, my devotee knows that all sense gratification leads to a miserable result. Dukkha Udar Thams, and he sincerely repents such activities. Chagarhayan.
All right. So, Bri Mataji, what do you think now? Does this definition fits you?
Um, I mean, it's what's the word? It makes me feel better.
Yes, yeah,
But
yeah. Why not?
I
Why
grapple
not?
with that question all the
Yeah,
time.
why
I
not?
do grapple with that question a lot,
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh. No, this is, see, again, I'll read and I'll just read the English, right? Having awakened faith in the narration of my glory. So I think all of us here, I can say with confidence that we all have the faith in the narration of the Krishna's glory. Does everybody raise the hand? Yes, yes, we are all raising the hand. All right, okay. Being disgusted with all material activities. So now this is the question mark. Being disgusted with all material activities. Here is everyone is really disgusted with all the material activities. What do you think?
Except Prashadam Prabhu.
that's the that's coming from the spiritual world because that's we have offered, right? Okay, so let's that we get the brownies for that. Okay, that's the brownie point we get from Krishna. Okay, for being his devotee. So you don't get negative point for that. Now what do you think?
I don't think, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't think so, because I feel like from what I've heard before, you generally have to lose it forcefully. So like, I could say like, oh, I don't, I'm disgusted with material activities. Um, and I could be in the mindset of like, oh, I have to maintain my family. And if I lose my job, if I'm really truly disgusted with my material activities, I wouldn't freak out, but I know I would. And so
So there
the
is
intention,
so there is some self preservation also, Bri Mataji. I'll just so see there is some self preservation that, oh, I'm losing job and that's causing the fear. But so here little slightly different, but this is a good analysis that, yeah, means, am I really disgusted that I'm done with this material world? What do you think, Jessica Mataji? What do you think?
You're asking, am I disgusted that I'm done with this material world?
Means, yeah, means how, like, are you really disgusted with material world? Like, oh man, I this is not the I I rather I be with rather I will be with Krishna, not in this material, not this material world. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm done with it. I don't have any desire to enjoy the material
Mhm.
world.
Mhm.
I've seen it. I've seen what happens from the enjoyment from the
Mhm.
outside. I can see what's
Yeah.
happening to other people.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
don't have a desire for that. I'm okay
Mhm.
with
Okay.
Krishna.
Okay. Okay. Good. So, and I've seen that. I've seen that, Jessica Mataji, that you some like you are not too, you're not attached to the material world, right? Like I've seen that. Okay, that's the reason I asked you. Okay, so see, we have some variety here. Okay, so not everybody will be clear, but of course, none of us here will say that I'm totally disgusted. Some of have had the experience with the material world where we say that. So I would make it simpler. I think we should see that. Okay, I think if I look into the spiritual world and this, what I see in the spiritual world, what's happening in loving service of Krishna, and then what I see in the material world, and whenever I have to choose between these two, I typically choose the spiritual world stuff. What do you think? Most of you would agree that whenever these two choices are there, you will go and choose the spiritual world stuff, right? Serving the deity, making some stuff for the deities, going to a temple rather than going for some movies or birthday parties. You all would agree with that? Right? So I'll just
Yeah.
making it simpler. Yeah, yeah, all good. Okay. Second point also we are trying to go over. Okay, we are trying to go over the hump. Okay, and then knowing that all sense gratification leads to misery. Does everybody agree with that? Right? Yeah, yeah. You see that even like even at the things like the sexual gratification, right? Ultimately, if you're doing too much of this, like then again you the partner goes and sometimes fight, and then they look for some other partner. Like the and why I brought the sexual gratification, because that's one of the thing which really pulls this material world all the time, right? This is the reason why this material world works, right? Okay, now coming to, but being still unable to renounce all sense enjoyment. Okay, now we are agree, right? Okay, still there are some sense enjoyment I have. Sometimes I want to eat, sometimes I want to travel. My devotee, now Krishna is telling, my devotee should remain happy and worship me. In spite of that, I think, again, I'm making the decision that you all here, you try to remain happy and you worship Krishna. Do we all agree with that? Right? Yeah. Shrujana Mata, you agree with this, right? Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And with and you do that with great faith and conviction also, correct?
100%.
100%. Because Shrujana Mata is always there with his kids, with her kids, all the time. She's in the temple. I think she lives less time at home than the temple. Okay. So
No, nothing like that, Prabhu.
okay. So okay. Now moving. Even though he's sometimes engaged in sense enjoyment. All right. So everybody agrees that we do get indulged in some sense enjoyment sometimes. Yeah. Right. Somebody likes her wife, or somebody likes his wife, somebody likes her husband, um, and spend time or do whatever, right? My devotees know all sense gratification leads to a miserable result. Okay, so that also I would agree. And he sincerely repents such activity. Now, this is again something to think about it. Um, Whenever we are doing some sense gratification, do you know that, oh, this is a sense gratification, and you repent? You feel bad? I should not be doing that, but still I end up doing that. What do you think? I can see Bri Mataji is saying, yeah, yeah. So she does repent. So she is aware. So Mataji, I am just putting the word in your mouth. So are you saying that
Yeah.
you, yeah,
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
you,
absolutely.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you have, you're self-aware that you know that, hey, this is a sense gratification I did, and I shouldn't have done that. You will agree with that.
Yeah, when when I think it's more so when I'm in like my everyday activities, um in my mind, like I have the knowledge that my service is to be for Krishna 100% of the time. But then, like my job is quite stressful and I find myself acting out of character sometimes in times of frustration. And so then I start, that's a small general, thing,
Mm,
but things like that make me feel bad that, I'm not grounded in that all the time.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I have met Mataji here. She's very sincere devotee, joins the class, asks very good questions. But she says that once she goes home, because some of the family members they have the habit of watching TV, and lovingly they call her, and then once she's watching the TV, she gets stuck with that, and she really repent. Why I just wasted my time, right? Some of your loved one, like, and that's right. So anyway, so we analyze the point. This is the classic definition of from Srimad Bhagavatam on the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Okay. Now, so this is the classic symptom we discussed. Has awakened faith in the process of bhakti, disgusted with all material activities. We said we put a question mark there, right? We all have a different variety here, but this one has awakened faith in the process of bhakti. I think everybody agrees here, right? Understand the sense gratification lead to misery. I suppose everybody agrees there. Still unable to give up sense gratification. I think everybody agrees here. And unable to give up sense gratification, he sincerely repents for engaging in such acts. I think most of us agree there also. I'm putting most because sometimes we may not be self-aware and we think that, oh, that's how it is. So, but most, I would say, right? And having known you. So only is, are we really disgusted with all material activity? That's the one question mark we leave there. Okay. Now this is a very wonderful discussion we are going to talk about. Okay. And you are, it helped me. I hope it will help you. So there is two things, value system and then conditioning. What is the difference between value system and conditioning? Question number one.
Is it based on your desires?
It is based on desire. Yeah. Both. So desire is coming sometimes based on my value system and sometimes from my conditioning. So, but before that, I need to know what is the value system and what is the conditioning we are talking about here.
I can only explain it the way I understand it, but if I understand, values for me is something that internally I feel conviction on and follow and live by. Whereas for conditioning, I believe that that's based on how I am perceived externally.
Okay. Anybody else would like to add, subtract?
I think, Prabhu, like it's about kind of trade off with intelligence and mind. Kind of like mind thinks I want it, but the intelligence say no, it's not right. Kind of debate. So, whether your desire would be driven with your intelligence or with your like and dislikes, right? So, as picture depicts here.
Okay. So see, value system is something what we have learned. We like, let's say, either the learning from our scriptures, learning from our culture, and typically the value system goes into right and wrong. Oh, this is right, this is wrong, we shouldn't be doing it. Four regulative principle. Yeah, I agree with that's the right thing to do, and we shouldn't. So that's a value system. Conditioning is, I like sweet. I really like sweet. I know that I shouldn't be eating a lot of sweet, but I like it. It's not good for my health, but I like it, right? So the conditioning, the symptom of the conditioning is basically based on like and dislike. I like my friend, I do not like them. I like my relatives, I do not like them. So this is the this that is our conditioning. Okay, that's called the conditioning. So where I am putting myself, and that is what becomes my nature. That's what my nature is. That's what my nature is. I like to sleep over the weekend. I'm really an adventurous person. I like to go on a hiking every time. I love it. I want to die while I'm hiking on the mountains. Good. And I have these friends. I'm quoting directly from them. Okay. They say that. Now, so this is where this wonderful analysis is done, which is, okay, so here I'm just going to make it, or we can just, okay, don't want to make it too small. Okay. So this value system leads to Shraddha. Okay, so you'll see there's a parallel being drawn. I'm on a value track, so there's Shraddha. I should be doing this. Four regulative principle I have to follow. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. That's my value system. Whatever I do, I should do for Krishna. Swabhava, I need uh, uh, I need time for myself also. Classes is happening, it's okay, but I need time for me, swabhava. Or I need to take I need to go out for dinner today, right? Rather, I'm eating at temple every day. I want to go out. Okay, so swabhava, right? So that's, and now this is where abhilasa, shraddha is leading to desire, abhilasa. So now here is connection is happening. Shraddha, which is based on my, which is coming from value system. Shraddha means faith. Okay, faith, which is coming from value system, leading to desire. And my swabhava is linked to anartha. Anartha means the negative quality in me. And we all know about our negative quality. It can be lust, it can be anger, it can be greed, it can be envy, it can be any of those things. And some of us may know about it, some of us may still be discovering it. In the initial stage, it may happen that we may not see it. And I'm telling you from my own personal experience. The the anartha which I see after 10 years of practicing or 15 years of practice Krishna consciousness is a lot more than the day one when I came into Krishna consciousness. Okay, because as we are taking shower, initially I was so dirty as I was taking shower, it was like solid black, and I thought that's the color of me, solid black. I started taking shower. Slowly I say, oh, something, some drops is happening. I started rubbing, and then I said that dirt is happening. Dirt is going. Oh, it is black and white. What's happening to me? Oh, I have so much of dirt. So that's when I start seeing, oh, I have greed. Oh, I have anger. Oh, anger, I knew about it. But I see, oh, I have envy. Oh, here, I see little pride here. Now you start seeing it. Okay, this is the journey we all will go through. Because we say the proof is in the pudding. Because we are born here, we have those qualities. Some will have more, some will have less, some will have this particular thing more, some will have this particular thing less. Okay, but we all have the variety. Okay, so that's called anarthas, bad quality. Everybody is with me? Anybody who needs further explanation? Yes, Bree?
Sorry, y'all. I tend to ask a lot of questions.
No, no, we should, because that's the reason. Like this is, we have to open up, right? And then the yes, yeah.
Um, for Anartha, is it just the body that has the Anartha? Or is it on the soul level that has the Anartha? Is the body, right? The
Body and
condition of
mind.
the body.
Yeah, and the subtle body and the gross body that has the anartha. Soul is always pure, right? So pure, the soul is seeing through the subtle body. Then it seems then I'm called conditioned, because when I see myself, it is the combination of soul, my subtle body, and my body, right? That's how I identify myself. Once I become into pure state, then this subtle body concept goes away. Basically, then I can see the purity, but I know that most of us are not there yet, right? So answer your question. Anartha is both at the gross body as well as the subtle body. So mind, intelligence, false ego. Make sense? Any other question? Okay. So here, desire to please my spiritual master. That's my abhilasha. I want to really please my spiritual master. That is coming from the Shraddha side, value system. On the other side, desire for the opposite sex. I really want a good life partner, good looking, who can satisfy me, who can really protect me, who can do this, who can do that, right? So these are just example. Okay, then one other example, desire to chant quality rounds. I want to really chant, and then that person cut my car. I just want to go and slap him, right? Anger. How my boss can behave like that? What they said was totally wrong. That's not fair. How this devotee can behave like that? I have been serving this organization for so long. How he or she can say like that? I don't like that devotee, right? You agree? Both sides of the spectrum. So this is the example. So we understood the concept that we have both the value system and the conditioning. So first acknowledgement that we have both, and there are scriptural references we can show quickly. We'll go and see also little later part. But these are the two things what we have. Okay. Um, so it is called, what we call, the other word which is used is vasana, right? So vasana is my nature, where I want to enjoy. So there's always this tug of war between the two. There's always this tug of war, right? So based value system is based on right and wrong, conditioning is based on like or dislike, and both kinds of desire exist simultaneously, right? Abhilasha is desire which we do for fulfillment, anartha is desire which we want to get rid. Okay. So now if I segregate our desire into two buckets, like one is called Abhilasha bin, other is called Anartha bin. Now, based on the Abhilasha category, our devotional service may come in the bucket of the Uttama Bhakti. Now, if you only look into Abhilasha bin, then you would agree, most of you will say that yes, I think Krishna is my goal. There is no doubt about it. I want to serve Krishna. I want to please Krishna. There's nothing else. Do you agree with that? If you have separated you started separating your desires. Do you understand what we are trying to do? Other than Bri Mataji, I can see Bri Mataji saying she understand. Everybody else is following. If not, feel free to, because this is very important. We can talk more. Murnali Mataji, you get the point? You agree? Sure. Okay. Jessica Mataji,
Yes.
you agree? Means do you? So we have all the desires we talked about. Okay. And some of the desire is coming from our conditioning. I want to, I want to have a good business. My business should run. Okay. I should have the house. My car should still drive. Okay. So those are the ones which is for me. It is nothing to do with Krishna. Okay. So I have that desire also. But then on the other side, I have the desire. Krishna, you are my only shelter. I want to always serve you. I love you. There's nothing better than to serve you. I have these two set of desire. Sometimes this seems in conflict, but I have these two desire. So I acknowledge it. Okay, so first we acknowledge it. Then we say that okay, let's try to separate into two bins, two buckets. One bucket where the desire is only for Krishna, Abhilasha category, and the other desire which is for me. I have the bad desire. I know that's bad, but I have the desire. What can I do? Right? Even though I think that I shouldn't, so I shouldn't lose my job, but I am worried that if I lose my job, I will be in trouble. What can I do? I think I should really take shelter of Krishna and not worry about losing the job, but I do get worried about losing the job. Correct? So that's the other bucket. So I'm creating a desire, those desire putting in a second bucket. So I have two buckets of desire. Now I'm telling, let's take our bucket number one, which is based on our Abhilasha, which is for Krishna. Do you think if you look into those desire, our desire will qualify as Uttama Bhakti?
The values, if you're focused on self-preservation, then it can qualify for Uttama Bhakti.
Yeah. Self-preservation is covered. That's fine. That's like Draupadi, self-preservation is covered. So here, as long as you think that you really want to, there is no, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Swayam Bhagwan. I want to serve Krishna with the best of my ability. I want to please Krishna to the best of my ability. I want to surrender my life to Krishna to the best of my ability, whether I have surrendered or not, but I want to. I want to surrender. So just focus on my word. I want to. So do you think that these are all the correct thing that you have? True? Okay. So most of us will say that, hey, based on my category number one, which is Abhilasha category, I think I am doing the Uttama Bhakti. So my desire is anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ, not anya anyābhilāṣitā-anartha, right? So the definition is anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ. it is not saying anyābhilāṣitā-anartha. So from there, now we can say that there is an acknowledgement, and we will show it later. Okay, so I'm just going. So there is an acknowledgement that we all have anartha in us. When we are born and we are given a human body, it comes with a package, anartha as a package. And the definition, this Uttama Bhakti definition is not saying anyābhilāṣitā-anartha. It is saying anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ. It means that implicitly it is acknowledged that I will have anartha. And when I have anartha, I will have some desire which I know is wrong, but I cannot control it. Okay. The other argument which will happen when we move to chapter 1, you will say that there are 6 symptoms of bhakti, the benefits of bhakti. Okay, it says, and one of the first one is it says that your impressions are burned, right? Klesha Agni. It says Klesha Agni. All the kleshas are burned in the fire. Then what is burning? If burning, it means that I have something undesirable. And when I'm doing the bhakti, one of the benefit what's going to happen is something is going to burn. What is going to burn? The answer what we are going to find is anartha, which is going to burn. Which means that while I'm doing the bhakti, my anartha is going to be burned. It means that when I'm doing the bhakti, it is expected that I will have the anartha. Do you understand? If my anartha is going to burn, it means that it is expected. If I don't have anartha, if I say that, hey, only the person who is pure, who doesn't have anartha can do the bhakti, in that case, what is going to burn? Something, right? So anartha is going to burn, which means having anartha is expected. Okay, so now you see, now you all should be feeling, we all should be feeling a little better. Oh, okay, there is an acknowledgement by Rupa Goswami that we all have the anarthas. We are not Rupa Goswami. We are not Rupa Goswami, right? Rupa Goswami is Nitya Siddha.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So, okay, so now let's start feeling better, right? So practice of bhakti destroys sinful desires and it destroys the sinful impression from past. Okay, now, so we should not, okay, so performing devotional service with material desire, anarthas, and Vadi sadhana bhakti. So before nistha, so you know, what are the eight stages of the bhakti progression? Shraddha.
Shraddha,
Mhm.
anartha nivritti,
No, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha,
sangha.
Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi. So, okay, so that's how it goes. Bhava, Prema. Okay, so until, so Nishtha, which is the strong determination, only comes after Anartha Nivritti. Anartha Nivritti means a stage where all my negative conceptions are being burned. And this is not a pure state. It's not like I reach Anartha Nivritti and everything is gone. No, it doesn't happen like that. Anartha Nivritti is a process which will continue. The Shraddha, so even though we say these are 8 stages, but most of these are going in parallel. So Shraddha will be increasing proportionally as my Anartha Nivritti is decreasing. Still I have some bad quality. And that may continue even in the Ruchi stage, even in the Bhava stage, it may go continue. It says the pride, there is still some bit of pride is left even at the level of Bhava. So pride is the most subtle thing. Very hard to identify that I have a pride. Okay, so this is talking about Vadi Sadhana Bhakti, which is before Nistha. So what? So here there is a concept of Shraddha and Sabhava. I'll going very quickly here. Okay, just to show, not just to let you know that there are Sastric references which acknowledge that we have the uh, which acknowledge that we have the negative quality. So even the man in knowledge of scripture acts according to his desires. Focus on according to his desires. All men act according to their desires. What can instruction or threat of punishment accomplish? Chapter 3 Bhagavad Gita. Okay, So even from, so okay, it's acknowledging there is a, that we act based on our desire, even though I have the knowledge of the scriptures. I know that this is not good, but sometimes I just give in. Sometimes I'm able to control. Sometimes I just give in. That's the nature. Okay. Next, attachment and repulsion are firmly fixed in each of the sense objects. One should not come under control of attachment and repulsion. They are the two obstacles. Whenever these are symptoms, whenever we feel repelled, I don't like my relatives, or I am very attracted to my spouse. I'm very attached to my spouse. I'm very attached to my children. Okay, then those are the things which is that I'm not pure. Okay, so this is acknowledgement there. So here Krishna is contrasting, there is something like value system which is different than anartha, which is raga and dvesa, attachment and repulsion, right? Just like, so you'll see Prabhupada writes in the purport, good dog and the bad dog. There's always pull and push. Prabhupada acknowledges there's always pull and push. Oh, yes, Bri Mataji, I see your hand raised.
I'll ask after you're done.
Okay. Okay, so so now other verse. Arjuna said, "O descendant of Vrishnis, by what does man engage in sin, though unwilling, as it by force?" Do you feel that sometimes we get engaged in sin, even though that unwilling? Sometimes you'll see that even the second initiate Brahman, they lose their temper. The somebody senior in the temple congregation, uh, administrative job, they may make the wrong choices of words or being abusive. It's not that they don't know, they are giving lecture, but it happens, right? So here it is being acknowledged here. So you see, papam is here is talking about papam and karma, right? So it is telling that both things exist. Okay, so here is the other two words which brings the dichotomy, right? Two sides of the coin. So this is coming from Chatur Shloki Gita. I give the intelligence to those who constantly desire to be with me and worship me with great love, by which they attain my direct association. Um, so and then to show favor to them by myself situated within them, extinguishing the darkness born of ignorance. So Krishna is telling there is a darkness, and when Krishna comes, he takes away the darkness by the shining lamp of the knowledge. So there is a darkness. There is acknowledgement that when we are talking about the practice of pure bhakti, there is an acknowledgement that we have the anarthas. Okay, and anartha is one of the things, as we are practicing, those anartha will be start burning down. So there is a expectation that I have the anartha. Okay, so when Rupa Goswami is telling Uttama Bhakti, what does it mean? He's saying that, oh, I expect that you will have anartha. You will have some desire which you don't like, but you're not able to leave it, and you repent it, but you still do it. Okay, so here Krishna is saying to that person, he extinguishes the darkness born out of ignorance. So where does this ignorance comes from? Is he talking about two different person or the same? When Krishna is telling that I will take away the ignorance, he's talking about the same person, right? He's not talking about two different person. It means that Krishna is acknowledging by those verses which we just read, Chatushloki, that Krishna expects that I have the darkness in my heart. And Krishna is expecting that these things are simultaneously existing. Krishna is the one who has designed us, anartha and the pure bhakti, pure abhilasha. So we have the pure abhilasha. I want to achieve Krishna. He is my only shelter. I want to Goloka Dham. Oh, I want to go to Goloka Dham to serve Krishna. No, no, no. I do. I want to also, dance with the gopis. No, no. So it's not like that, right? So we have the pure abhilasha and we have the anartha. So these are the acknowledgement. Okay, there further is being said here. So unalloyed devotee. So here is the question: how he is unalloyed devotee if he has desire other than Krishna in his heart? So what is telling? It is possible. One can be unalloyed devotee and still have the desire, because the definition is telling that avilasha is to please the Krishna for the Krishna's goal, and anartha is for eating golgappa, like the water bowl. right? Or the opposite gender. Opposite gender, of course, this person in this example think that, oh, they are in the married relationship, and the person wants to enjoy the opposite gender, a spouse, even though we know that it's not needed because I have done the progeny, but still there's a desire to have a opposite sex, enjoyment with the opposite sex. So that's the anartha, but abhilasha is pure. So in this case, somebody is like that, like the Vilasha, that still will not come into that they are not practicing. So they won't be considered that they are doing the mixed bhakti. Okay, so these two can coexist, and that's what the scripture is talking about. So now here some of the glories of the devotional service, which will again prove the point. Even if the most sinful person worships me with no other desire than to please me, I consider that person to be my devotee, as he has fixed himself completely in me. Right? So the see here the two contrasting thing. Even if the most sinful person worships me, so I am a sinful person, I am worshipping Krishna, but I have no other desire than to please Krishna. I have sinful past. Sometimes I still may falter. I have that behavior. I still may cheat, but I am totally concept wise. I'm totally clear that I want to serve Krishna. Right? If Krishna is telling, I consider that person to be my devotee. So Krishna is giving, that shows this little detour. Krishna, if we understand this attitude of Krishna, doesn't it give like what a wonderful parent I have, right? He's so merciful that he's giving me brownie points for all those things. He's telling that just try to develop the pure attitude of pure devotional service towards me. Do not so in the bhakti, the focus is not that negation. Negation, what the expectation is, negation will happen automatically. The focus is on the positive aspect. Develop love for Krishna. Every else will start falling in place. That's the beauty of bhakti. That makes bhakti so special. That makes bhakti the best yoga system, right? Now there are a lot of quotes from the Srila Prabhupada, which is listed here. I'm just skipping those. I told you, right? I'll skip some of these. Um, Here 931. Very quickly he becomes a righteous person and becomes completely devoid of contamination. O son of Kunti, you declare that my devotee never perishes. Okay, so Krishna is telling very soon as anybody is practicing the bhakti, very soon all this impurity will be taken away by the mercy of Krishna, and that person will become righteous, and then Krishna's devotee never perishes. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the Sukdev Goswami test Maharaj Parikshit and establishes the position of bhakti. Okay. Though the jiva knows that sinful acts are detrimental, by seeing and hearing, he helplessly commits sin again. What is the use of atonement? This is Maharaj Parikshit was asking Sukdev Goswami. And then, after withdrawing from sin, one commits the sin again. I therefore think atonement is useless, like an elephant bathing. Right, and this is where you see in the Christian tradition they go for the atonement. But then what we see, somebody goes and tell the priest that, hey, I have done the mistakes, I that was wrong, and the priest says, okay, that's fine. But again, that person goes and does the same thing. Then what is the use of that atonement? So that process doesn't work. Okay, while person who only once absorb their mind in Krishna's lotus feet, even in dreams, or even though the mind still has material attraction, do not see the servants of Yama, since they have accomplished all atonement. Wow, by that remembrance. Wow. So who only once absorb their mind in Krishna's lotus feet. This is a big statement, Krishna's lotus feet. Amarinder Prabhu has been talking about Krishna's lotus feet in his lectures. Even in dreams, or even though the mind still has material attraction, do not see the servants of Yama. Means the Yamadut, the messenger who takes us to the cycle of birth and death, they do not come. The name, the bhakti is so powerful that they do not come near to the devotee, and they get the result of all kind of atonement. Atonement is a lot of process. So the devotee, they did not worry about the atonement. What they should focus on is the pure desire aspect of the bhakti. Okay, so this purification does not depend on a solid basis of bhakti. Even once remembering the Lord is sufficient, what to speak of many times. Even thinking with the mind is sufficient, what to speak hearing or uttering the name of the Lord. The mind which is materially attracted is sufficient, what to speak of a mind without material attractions. Thinking even in dreams is sufficient, what to speak of actual meditation. Such person has accomplished all atonement. Big, big things. Okay. So um, now I'll just um, there are this is I'll briefly cover. Sorry. Um, there is the sorry, clearing the throat. So there are four type of anarthas, and this is something we will read later. So so there are and they come into different categories. So here we are just ekadash ekadash varanti means one anartha, multiple anarthas, prayayaki, which is absolutely complete alienation. Still there is some anarthas left. Purna, completely eradicated, and absolute. There is no trace of anartha. Okay, so it just goes into that. So what this is coming from Jaiva Dharma, which is written. This is an essay written by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, where he's telling that by doing the bhakti, everything is a complete annihilation of all the um, anarthas happens. Okay, so bhakti is so powerful. Uh, why, why these points are being brought together? That if these things are saying, these things are being said in the scriptures, yet at the same time, Rupa Goswami is telling that, oh, you should not have you should not have any anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ. It is making the point that in anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ, anartha is taken into account. That one will have the anartha. Okay, so there it is what it is talking about, that from the and we don't control our nature. Nature, we have a limited control. It takes time. It's not that we don't control. Of course, we means, but the imprint, the deep imprint is very hard to go. It takes time because that's how I'm born with. That's the reason why the kind of subtle body I have. My nature is that. That's the kind of material body I have, right? So that has been given. That is based on my desire. That's what the kind of body I have. But that doesn't negate that I cannot do the pure bhakti. Even if I was a murderer, still I can do the pure bhakti. So my body still has a tendency to go and look and see, oh, can I do the murder? But I'm not doing it. I'm trying to hold it. But I have that impression. Sometimes I think about that in my mind. If somebody cuts my car, I think about that. I want to kill that person. I don't go and kill, right? But still, I thought about it. Sometimes I may succumb and I can go and fight and beat that person. But that doesn't disqualify from me being a bhakta. You understand? These are all the things which has been covered so far. All good here? Okay, so
That's a very, very good point, Prabhu. It answers some of my internal talk within myself.
yes,
Uh, and then sometimes I definitely beat up. Why did I even think that way? Why did I even say that? And then, well, apologizing is there immediately, but why did you even come in the first place?
Yes, Mataji, you can totally beat me, and Krishna will
Oh,
still
your Prabhu.
won't hate you as long as you have the
No,
pure bhakti. Okay.
no, there is
Yeah.
no beating or anything, Prabhu. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
but
Just
there,
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I mean, I mean, those are the. That's where I learned from my Prabhu. These are your testing places, and sometimes it feels like, oh, yet again I failed. Uh,
Right.
but whatever you read today, like building hope.
Yeah, it is. It is. So that's the reason why Shastra has to be learned very deeply, right? Just like this analysis is very similar to Jiva Goswami thing, what we are studying in the Krishna Sandarbha, right? Just taking all the points, um, which and putting it together to prove a point that this is what it means, and it is we are bringing these points from the Shastra, means from the scriptures, to tell that hey, this is not something I say or you say. These all has been derived and understood on the basis of the same scripture from where this definition of Uttama Bhakti is coming. Okay, so I'm just skipping these. Okay, and now
I have a question while you're
yeah, yeah,
going through.
yeah. Tell me.
And so for someone like me, I'm not initiated, so I can't follow or I can't follow the instructions of a spiritual master in order to diminish anartha. And so I wonder, what does that mean on my side? Because really where I go is more so seva based. I don't have personal instructions to please Krishna and perform Uttama Bhakti.
Right.
And so yeah.
Yeah, so we all go through that stage, Bri Mataji, that while we don't have the our own initiating master, we consider Prabhupada as our Param Guru, right? As our initiating master. And then in our life, we have the Siksha Guru, the teachers for you, Nuru Hari Prabhu, right? Has really given you the Siksha. So you follow his instruction while you are looking for a spiritual master who can give you, with whom you would like to take shelter, right? So that's the journey you're taking. But ultimately, as long as you know that, hey, I have to take shelter. Without the shelter, my journey in a true sense won't begin, right? So scripture, making the guru is just not external process, it's internal process. And knowing you have already internalized. You from the internal, you have made the guru. You have the guru in your mind, right? You're just it's a matter of time, right? So if that guru would have been alive, means in prakata, if in the prakata means uh, available on this external world, you would have gone in a brink of an eye and you would have just taken shelter, right? So
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 that brings me to another question then, because you know my situation,
right, right, right.
and so half of my mind sometimes goes, I don't know. I have many questions surrounding that.
Yeah, so
I,
see, and we can definitely talk and we can take it offline. But if you so one thing is for sure that we all need a shelter, and but Bhagavatam even tells that the name is so potent, so powerful that one need not even take the shelter. So I'm giving you the other thing which is not in this verse, but it's something it may come later, right? So, but but in that case, our progress will be very slow because we are in this material world, and material world is the energy of Krishna. It is very hard to go by unless we have a guru who can guide us, right? And getting a instruction from a physical guru is very important because I haven't established the connection with the aprakat, means the guru who is unmanifest, who is not manifest in the material world. For example, Prabhupada, he's up, he has gone from the external eyes. He's there, but he's gone. He's available through his book. So, but I cannot go and say that, uh, I because my guru is gone from this world, and that would have been a Valli guru, I cannot take shelter. So that is not an option, because if we go for that option, my progress will slow down uh, a lot, and that's not recommended, because we saw that, right? Ānukūlyena, anu is follow the on the footstep of the guru, and so that is the important point. Okay, that is the important point we should learn, that as we are on that path, let's take the instruction of Prabhupada in the meantime, follow those which you are doing for regulative principle. You are following the instruction of your Siksha Guru very diligently. You are doing all the seva. I know all those stuff, right? We talk, right? We talk about that, but taking a shelter of a guru, that's recommended as per the Shastra. Of a physical guru, that's recommended in the Shastra. So here I'll just conclude. I'll just go to the last. Okay. Uh, okay, here in conclusion. So this is concluding this section. Nitya Siddhas like Rupa Goswami. So Nitya Siddha, anybody who doesn't know about Nitya Siddha? Who is Nitya Siddha? What is the definition of Nitya Siddha?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Pure devotee?
Yeah, Nitya means eternally they understood. So eternally they are in the eternal world, right? So Rupa Goswami is the Rupa Manjari. Okay. So he as a Manjari, he always he's in the Goloka Dham as a Manjari Roop. Okay. So they don't need to do anything. They are always in the eternal world, just like a gopi. They are always in the eternal world. So Rupa Goswami is Nitya Siddhas. Nitya means eternally, always. Doesn't matter how many times this universe goes through the annihilation, how many Brahmas are born, doesn't really matter, right? So for them, these are the characteristics. They have the pure Shraddha, so their faith. So it's going on these two spectrum where the discussion started. We have a Shraddha, faith, which is coming from the value system, and other is my nature, which is coming from my anarthas and my subtle body and physical body. Okay, so two categories. So on the Shraddha, Rupa Goswami, the devotees like Rupa Goswami who are coming in the category of Nitya Siddhas, they have a pure Shraddha and they have the pure Sabhava. Swabhava means nature. So they have a pure nature which is inclined to always serve Krishna. They have no tinge of anything other than Krishna. Okay, so they are Nitya Siddhas. So that's category. They're always performing the Shuddha Bhakti, the pure Bhakti. Second category, Sadhana Siddha. Sadhana Siddha means they became the eternal associate of the Lord by performing the process of sadhana, Vaidhi sadhana. They were not the pure bhakta at some point of time, but then they grew into a pure bhakta. Pure bhakta means pure devotee. They grew into the pure devotee using their sadhana. And Narad Muni is one of the example. So his faith is pure. His faith is pure, and his nature has been purified. It was not purified at some point, long time back. We can't even comprehend. Okay, because for all practical purpose, Narad Muni is the pure devotee. Is absolutely pure devotee. But based on the historical Puranas description, in the past life, Narad Muni was the son of a maid servant. You have heard that story. And then how by eating the prasadam from the Vedantist, he learned and became pure. And then he took he in the next birth he was born as a Narad Muni, right? And then he achieved Krishna. All the time he's singing the glory of Krishna all the time, right? So contrasting with the first point contrasting is in this case, the Rupa Goswami example is just like a Rupa Goswami. He is the pure Swabhava, and then for Narad Muni is the purified. Is the Swabhava, the nature has been purified. Then the third is sadhaka like us. So our Shraddha, as long as, so I'm just saying, do not assume that we have the pure Shraddha. But I think it's, if somebody is really practicing Krishna consciousness seriously, which I think most of us here, but some of us may not have the pure Shraddha, and that's where we have to become really aware that am I totally focused? Krishna, nobody else. I really want to have a strong desire. I want to serve Krishna and really please him. Nobody else. Okay, check. I will do anything to please Krishna. Okay, check. But my Swabhava is a problem. I have still some anartha. Sometimes some other desire comes. So my nature is going through a purifying process right now. I'm getting purified. Okay, so this is the category we most of the devotee, and I'm not saying all, because again, the pure Shraddha is something everybody has to go and check. Okay, but most will fall into this category. And some whose Shraddha is still not pure because they think, oh, I think Krishna is the supreme personality, but I have been a Sai Baba Bhakta. How can I leave Sai Baba? Or I have been Hanuman Bhakta. How can I need Hanuman? Oh, I have blah, this and that, right? So in that case, I have a mixed devotional. Right now, my faith on Krishna is not 100%. It is 99.9%, but it's not 100%. In that case, it's the Shraddha is not fully pure, and I'm still on the mixed devotee. It's not that everything is lost. At least I know where I am, and I can move from there to the category number 3, which is trying to get into the pure Shraddha and purifying Swabhava, which is the purifying nature. Make sense? Does it all make us feel not? It's not the feeling good or bad. Means, I suppose, does it give us the awareness that most of us is following the definition of Rupa Goswami, because we are
Yes,
able to parse out that anartha is a given. If we have the human body, anartha is a given. It's a fact, and the scripture acknowledges it. So one thing which we control is our desire to serve Krishna, which is going to the definition of pure bhakti, which I'll go back and I'll end the session. Yes. anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ, no other desire other than to please Krishna. And that it encapsulates that due to my bodily conception, I may have little bit this desire, that desire. I don't like that desire. I think that's the impediment, but that's my conditioning, right? So it includes that. So, but I, all my senses, I really want to serve Krishna. Nothing, nobody else. Krishna is my only shelter. Krishna is my only shelter. Okay, so that's one. Jnāna-karmādy, I anything which I'm learning, I don't want. It's not covering the jnana or karma. Sorry, it's not covering the bhakti. ānukūlyena kṛṣṇānu, my service is only favorable for Krishna. It is there to please him and nothing else. And I'm following in the footstep ānukūlyena. I'm following in the footstep of the Guru Parampara. I'm taking instruction from my Guru and I'm following that. So this will, as long as that's true, then one is following the Uttama Bhakti. Okay. So we are in a very good position by Krishna's grace. We are in this position which is not easy, but Krishna is so kind that he is giving the option for all of us. Doesn't matter how fallen we were in the past, but because we have come on this path with the full determination, there is only one way to go, which is closer to Krishna. The question is how fast we want to go, how much endeavor we want to do. That intensity, that is something we all need to work on. Okay? With that, and conclude the session for today. Sorry, it took half an hour extra, but I just wanted to finish it so that we can continue from chapter 1 from the next class. Um, Now you tell me, I'll just ask one comment from each of you before um, how this section helped you? Do you still have any questions on the topic? So, Jessica, does this section helped you? And do you have any questions on this topic of Uttama Bhakti, the pure Bhakti?
Yes, the arthanas helped me to understand the impurities, and you said we're going to get more into the kind of arthanas
Anarthas,
and
yeah.
anarthas.
Yes.
And the chanting burns the anarthas, correct?
Mhm. Chanting and the service, anything you are doing to please Krishna is going to burn anarthas. Yes,
And everybody has the anarthas. No one's born
yes.
without them.
Nobody is born without anarthas.
What
Yes.
about Prabhupada? Was he here without them?
So Prabhupada, so see Prabhupada, there is um, a lot of discussion on that, and devotees have written that he also came from the spiritual world. He was not from this world. That is the understanding of the devotees, because there were symptoms, there are things he said, there are things which devotee observed, which showed that he was not from this world. But while he was here, people can see the anarthas in him, that oh, it seems Prabhupada is behaving like that. But those things we are going to study in Nectar of Instruction, the other book, which says that in the pure devotee, one should not focus on their bodily qualities. Okay,
Mm.
if anybody has given a so-called human body, there may apparently, I'm emphasizing, apparently, some quality may seems very ordinary, right? But that should not be ignored. That should be ignored because somebody, let's say, have the habit of picking the nose, but
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that's not that person may not be a pure bhakta. Okay,
Mm.
yeah. So Prabhupada is considered to be a pure bhakta and not from this world. That is the common understanding.
Or should we take it as a Shraddha Siddha Prabhu, like the category like that we concluded in the last, like Narad Muni?
So so again, because see, this is Prabhupada wouldn't have like those kind of a discussion, but for all our practical purpose, um, he was the pure bhakta that we all agree. And was he like always a eternal bhakta? Eternal was he a um, uh, manjari? Which some devotee claim that he was a manjari. But again, because these are things, there is no point talking a lot about it. We should just know that we are in a very authentic parampara system, Vaishnava parampara system, with the great lineage. Prabhupada is part of that. Whether he was a Nitya Siddha or whether he became a Sadhana Siddha, how doesn't really matter, right? Yeah, cool. Any question, Bri Mataji? Thoughts, comments?
No, I think all of my questions were answered. Um, yeah, related to this level, this lesson. I think there are other questions that I have, but it's not related to this.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
top-
Yeah, keep those questions, and as the class is progressing, I hope those will get answered. Otherwise, we can always talk one on one. Okay, or we can ask in the class if you feel that those are pertinent. We can just ask in the class, and we can have a discussion. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Shiva Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. I think today a little more practical way of understanding, at least with respect to what perspective we should see, like especially Anardas and um, Abhilasha part. So that was quite interesting, Prabhu, and like gives more um, thought provoking today. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yeah, Mataji Prabhu. Yeah.
The
No, no,
Abhilāṣitā.
don't thank me. It is all the devotees, especially Balram Sakti Prabhu. These are the content which I learned from Balram Sakti Prabhu. I just put it together in a shorter form, right? His classes were very, very long. It would have taken 4 to 6 hours, I suppose, he covered on this topic. I covered in only 1.5 hours. So, yes. Yes, Mrinalini Mataji, any thoughts, questions?
I like that verse anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ ānukūlyena Krishna.
Kṛṣṇānu,
So
yeah.
the that really attracts me. My goal should be the shunyam. Everything should be shunyam. It's only devotion towards Krishna.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is the primary goal.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose the first thing, the first thing what you should do, we all try to develop the attraction towards Krishna. Then the second order bit is we start focusing on the anyābhilāṣitā-śūnyaṁ. Oh, do I have other desires? The first attraction, if you have to do the ranking of that, highest ranking, develop love for Krishna, service for Krishna, and then we say, okay, other things should be Sunyam, right? And so that way things will work out the best. Okay. Krishna consciousness is the positive, additive thing.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Okay. So we will take a pause from here. Monday, just hold on. Monday, I think Monday we should be able to have the class. Is 29th. Yes, we will have the class on Monday, right? Monday, what time it is? 8 to 9, right?
I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah, 8 to 9. All right. You all are good for that, right? Or okay. Okay. I have to
Yeah.
check with my wife. If something at the end, I don't know if something is planned. If something, I'll let you know. But we'll keep the class on Monday. I'll try to, and Bri Mataji, yes, I'll try to post the recording by tomorrow. If I don't, ping me. Just put the message. Okay.
Okay.
I forget. I forget. I'll just admit that's my anarthas. Okay. There's so many things I forget.
I know you're busy.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
you
But
forget.
still, I want to do it the right thing. I want to post it quickly. All right. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.